This last one here, Monday Night Football, we got the Dallas Cowboys going on the road into LA to take on the Chargers.
This is gonna be a fun one. This is gonna be a fun one indeed. I'm gonna say it right now. I'm gonna pick the Chargers. Chargers are 2-point underdogs here. I definitely kind of doubted them a little bit. I'm like, man, this team is way too talented to, have like a losing record. I think they bounce back here. I think on the, Chargers playing at home. It looks like they're gonna get Austin Eckler back, which great. Austin Eckler, he isn't exactly the known for being like an explosive runner necessarily. So, but at the same time, like having that assurance of Austin Eckler there, I think just builds confidence for both, Justin Herbert and Kellen Moore in the offensive play calling. So, and I feel like that's just going to be a big deal. And he has been averaging 7 yards per carry, albeit I think he's only like attempted 17 attempts so far. So, but yeah, he's been playing. When he's on the field, he's been playing well this season. So, and Khalil Mack just came off a six-sack game. If they're able to get pressure, him, Bosa, if they're able to get pressure against Dak Prescott, Prescott's gonna throw some INTs. Like that's for sure gonna happen, and I think that will happen. I know the Cowboys, they have one of the better offensive lines, and I think it's healthy now. But yeah, one of the better offensive lines in all of football. But the Chargers at home, with all the crowd, Monday night, right? Like I feel like the pass rush, whether it's Bosa or Cole Mack, is going to be able to get over there, and then Asante Samuel or one of the defensive backs over there will be able to get some sort of a pick and turn over the ball there, and yeah, give the ball over to Justin Herbert, which he'll know what to do with those wide receiver talent that they have right there. So yeah, Chargers pulling off the upset here against the Cowboys, in front of the big lights.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm there. Yeah, return of the Mac. Khalil Mack coming back. Obviously, his six sacks. He had four QB hits as well that day. For anybody playing IDP, maybe one of the most successful days in the office of all time. I'd have to, fact check on that one just as far as points go. But man, yeah, if he's coming back, for that unit, that'll be huge. They've really been up against it, I think, out of the gate so far on the defensive end, giving up a lot of yardage, a lot of points. Obviously, they played Dolphins and had a pretty big run-up game at the beginning of the year. But I think they're starting to come around a little bit as a defense. I mean, at the very least, held the Raiders to 17 before going on bye. They get that little bit of a break before taking on Dallas, who just got absolutely steamrolled by the 49ers for all those that were watching. I mean, it goes back to confidence. And anytime there's a big game with big spotlight for Dak, he always seems to underwhelm. Just plays average to below average football, doesn't put his team in position to win games or stay competitive. And almost felt like at a certain point they just kind of gave up. I mean, they just looked like they gave up. There's no reason why a defense as stout as theirs should be giving up, 40 plus points to the Niners, as good as the Niners are. Just kind of felt like, they were talking a little bit smack. They got hit in the mouth, and they just decided to kind of relent and let the San Francisco 49ers do whatever they wanted to them after that point. So, it's about character, it's resolve, and they just seem to lack that. I mean, honestly, they just don't seem to have like much backbone. And it's great if they can go ahead and like pound some of the bottom feeders in this league, but anytime they take on a top ranked opponent, they just seem to like get the deer in the headlights type expression, and just they end up waffling and kind of losing the game. So the Chargers, they're a playoff team. I mean, they've been consistently in the playoffs in recent years, and I think they're also trying to get themselves back into contention, get themselves into maybe a wild card type position. Having Eckler back definitely helps. So we'll see how he's reincorporated back into the offense. It desperately needs him out of the backfield with what Josh Kelly's been kind of piecing together week to week. But yeah, man, Herbert has looked great. You get your main weapon back. They're gonna put up some points here. Hopefully their defense can just hold tight, and I expect a close one, but I think the Chargers go over.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and the Cowboys, like their wins so far this season, right? They've beaten the Giants, they beaten the Jets. I think it was the first game with Zach Wilson starting, and And then yeah, they beat in the Patriots, right? So two of those teams, two of those three teams, not so good. And yeah, they lost to the Cardinals, and then also yeah, the 49ers, obviously. So it was kind of a bad loss there with the Cardinals, and then yeah, Patriots, Giants, not that good teams as we're seeing right now. And then yeah, the Jets. Zach Wilson's that was his first game, starting, so he was definitely kind of, kind of getting in the weed of things there, especially on the road, very challenging. But yeah, against a talented Chargers team with Justin Herbert, who has played really pretty damn well, I think, actually this season. I think yeah, it's just gonna see if he's able to take a kind of a next step against this Cowboys defense. Yeah, they do have Micah Parsons, and Bland has played pretty well, too. So yeah, if they're able to get some points on this defense, good luck Cowboys against the Chargers, and Dak Prescott kind of taking over against that pass rush. So yeah, but I feel like the Chargers are going to be able to pull it off here.
Yeah, I'm with you. And, Chargers are inconsistent as well as a team, but hopefully with more of their parts back, maybe a guy like J.C. Jackson, getting rid of him is going to be good for their team in the long run. Maybe it's an attitude thing. Maybe it's, maybe getting a little bit away from the star power in LA and just kind of trying to find guys who more naturally fit into the team, can gel, together on the defensive end or something like that. But yeah, if they can get their D to be average to respectable, I mean, this team, could be a pretty big threat, in the wild card. Even though they got Staley as their head coach, I think, they still got a lot of talent there to get W's.
Yeah, that's the X factor. It's like who can make more dumb decisions there? Mike McCarthy in the clock management, who's notorious for the worst clock management, or Brandon Staley. Like, there's gonna be like two people with clocks there. Like, what the hell do I do right now? And yeah, that's like one thing to be paying attention to is the last 2 minutes of this game. If it's close, right? It's like who's gonna be the first one to screw up, or the last one, maybe. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. No, two of the biggest boneheads, I think, wearing headsets in the NFL right now for sure.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.